If you're a beginner in the logo design space, then I strongly advise you watch this video to the very end. In this video, I talked about how to understand the logo brief, how to break it down so that you can understand it. Because if you don't understand the logo brief, it will be very difficult for you to come up with a logo, right? So just watch this video to the end. This video is for beginners. If you're a beginner and you are encountering this issue, kindly watch the video to the end. A brief is a document that provides all the information needed for a logo design or a brand identity, whatever. So it's a document that provides everything you need, emphasis on all the information you need to design the logo. Right, so this brief was given by AV Studios. Shout out to AV Studios, by the way. So the name of this brand is Beyond Borders Foundation, and this is the description. Beyond Borders Foundation is a non-governmental organization, basically an NGO, based in Nigeria that is dedicated to improving the lives of people across the country. The foundation was established with the aim of bridging the gap between different cultures and communities and promoting understanding and empathy across borders. So it's very lengthy though. I'm just trying to make a summary of it. So this is an NGO, like charity organization. So they basically do virtually all the things NGO does, charity organization does. So that's basically what they do. Now it says it's a rebrand. It's a new brand. What do you want the new logo to achieve? So these are questions that should be in your logo brief. So in case you don't get them, in case you're not able to get adequate information, you can request more from the client, because you have to remember, according to the meaning of what a brief is, you have to have all information that you need in order to execute that logo design or brand identity properly. Right, so you need to have all the required information. That's why you have to send the questionnaire to your client, and if the questionnaire is not if the answers you are getting is not giving, maybe it's not okay, you can request for a meeting with the client. All these are in a bid to just get clarification so that you know how to proceed and how to deliver the logo perfectly. So it says, what do you want your new logo to achieve? To express express the vision and goal of our target audience. So all these are the things you should keep in mind. You should understand the logo brief properly before even going to Illustrator and designing and vectorizing your logo and all of that. So you have to understand the logo perfectly. Understand the whole idea behind the brand. Understand it. This is where your research starts. After all this, that's when your research starts. The information you get from here is what you take and do your research with. Right? So we have to keep this in mind to express the vision and goal to our target audience. So to express the vision and goal to our target audience, whichever. So it says, who are your main competitors and how do you differ from them? It says ActionAid Nigeria, Care International, Save the Child Nigeria, Oxfam Nigeria. And it says, how do you differ? It says, Beyond Border differentiates itself from its competitors through unique approach to addressing the challenges facing Nigeria. Okay. Now, it says, who are your competitors? These are the names of the competitors. So what you do as a beginner who is starting out, or anybody, this is what they do. You simply just copy this or take note of this. These are things you should take note of while planning to do your research. Right? They said their main competitors are ActionAid Nigeria, Care Nigeria, Save the Child, Oxfam Nigeria. So what you need to do is you need to take note of this and make your research on it. Right? Make your research on it. So if you check now, it says this is a logo we like. If you check, it says Action Aid Nigeria. So it says Action Aid Nigeria. So what you do basically is that you take note of Action Aid and research their logo. You just browse for their logo, right? You browse for it and then you see what is it that the client likes about the logo. So it says Care International. So you just browse. Okay, this Care International. It says these are logos we like. So they like this. So what you need to do is take note of, just do your observation. What is it that they like here? Is it that the font is playful? Is it that the font is in small letters? Is it that the font is in capital letters? Is it that the icon contains a lot of hand icons? So what is it that they like about this brand? So these are the things you should keep in mind so that you can deliver. So it says Save the Child Nigeria. So you have this sort of like human icon. Save the Child Nigeria. If you check this and this, when you check this and this and this, you just ask yourself, what do they like about this? What can I take away from these two logos that they said they like? And then Oxfam Nigeria. Oxfam Nigeria. So just go online and browse for Oxfam Nigeria. Go to Google. So this is Oxfam Nigeria. So what is it that they like about this logo? You should keep that in mind. You should ask yourself that. Is it that it's an abstract mark? Is it that the logo is in circular form? Is it that the color for the logo is okay? So what is it about this logo that they like? For this now, this is an abstract mark. This is an abstract logo. Is it that the clients are leaning towards the direction of abstract logo? So what do they like actually? So those are the things you should keep in mind, because this will help you in your design process. It will make the process easier, right? So you should take note of all that. Now if you check this, okay, you see this. So you just try and look for something that, is it that the colors are appealing? What is it about the colors? What is it about the icon? What is it about the font? So you should ask yourself those questions. So it says, what are your likes or dislikes about your competitors' branding? We do not like the Action Aid and Oxfam logo, as we want to be more expressive with our brand. Okay, if you check the Oxfam logo, you don't even know what this is. Check the Oxfam logo. The client said they want to be more expressive with their brand. So you ask yourself, what does being expressive, let's go back. So ask yourself, what does being expressive, where is it? What does being more expressive with our brand mean? Does it mean that the logo has to depict NGO, meaning that it has to have NGO vibes, so to speak? Does it mean that the logo should, when I see the logo at a glance, does it mean that I can be able to tell that this is a charity organization logo or this is an NGO logo? So those are the questions you should ask yourself. If you check this logo now, if this was a logo in an NGO logo, if it's an NGO, this is obviously an NGO because that's part of their competitors, right? So it's one of their competitors. So basically what they are saying here is that they don't want a situation whereby they see the logo and they can't tell exactly what the brand does. So they want it to be more expressive. I want to see this logo and say, oh, this should be a logo for an NGO. This should be a logo for a charity organization. Do you understand? So I think that's what basically this is talking about. Say they want the logo to be more expressive, right? So we love Save the Child and Care logo. We love Save the Child and Care logo. Care logo is really very nice but too detailed. As we intend doing lots of printing, we won't like to have complications. You see, it says Care logo is really nice but it's too detailed. It's too detailed with the illustrations, with the hand icons. So if you are leaning towards this direction, then you should try and simplify it further. You should try and make it simple. So you should just ask yourself this question. That's why you have to have a detailed brief so that you can understand all this before jumping. Because if you pass through this process, then you may most likely not have an issue trying to come up with the logo, right? Because you scale through all these hurdles. So it's not that difficult for you again. So it says care logo. Okay, we've done that. Save the Child logo is really good, but we love where is it? But we love our colors to appeal to both adult and children. Save the Child logo is also good. This, but we want our logo to be more. Want our color to appeal to both adult and children. If you check, just pause this for 2 seconds. Just pause the video and ask yourself: does this appeal to adults, or it appeals to children, or it appeals to adults and children? So obviously this appeals to children. So they say they like it, but they want it to appeal to both adult and children. So you'd ask yourself, okay, can I incorporate this in my logo? Should I incorporate everything? If I do, will it still appeal to audience? Sorry, will it still appeal to adults and children if I incorporate this human icon in the logo? What should I do? So you should ask yourself those questions. So if you check, it says these are the logos we like, obviously. So they like all this. They're just saying try and work in this direction. So if you check, just ask yourself what is similar to this in this logo. All these logos that are here, what do they have in common? Just ask yourself. Okay, I can see a lot of blues. There's blue, there's blue, there's blue, there's blue here, there's blue here, there's blue. Okay, I can see a lot of hand icon. Obviously the client would like the hand icon to be present in their logo, but it shouldn't be this detailed because they've said before that they love this Care logo, but it's still detailed, so it shouldn't be this detailed. So you should make it more simple or more simpler. So they said they like, these are the logos they like. Okay, if you check, okay, do this logo appeal to both children and adults? Some of them do, some don't. Like this appeal to only children. So this can work. So if you check, you have hand icons everywhere. So what you should keep in mind is that once you've seen this, now you'll be like, okay, there's hand icon here, there's hand icon here, there's hand icon here, there's hand icon here. Noted. It means the client may most likely want the hand icon to be present. That's one thing to note. However, it shouldn't be this detailed because of what they said. They said they like this, but it's too detailed. So you keep that in mind. That's one thing, hand icon. Then, are these abstract logos or what? Are these letter marks? Are these word mark? What type of logo are these? See, obviously these are abstract logos. Abstract logos. So you should keep that in mind as well. So that's why you need to understand the brief. Well, what about the typography? How do they work? Are they using serif fonts? Are they using sans serif fonts? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself before jumping straight to Illustrator. Right, so you should ask yourself these questions. You should get clarifications. What color dominates this place? because this is what they like. So what colors dominate? There's blue, there's red, there's orange. You see, so what color dominates? Because they like this obvious. So just ask yourself those questions, right? So moving on, says what are we creating bright identity for? It's for a campaign. Okay, noted. Then what are your potential clients, customers, or okay, broad audience in okay. Beyond Borders Foundation targets a broad audience and includes people who are in need of support. Obviously, that's what an NGO does, so that's noted as well. It says look and feel. Okay. It says the logo should be simple. If you check now, this corroborates what the client earlier said, that you don't want the logo to be too detailed. There's a place where I saw that. Can't get that now, but it says we don't want the logo to be too detailed. Okay, this part. Don't want it to be too detailed. Right. So that has been taken note of. That has been noted already. And then want it to be simple, want it to be energetic, fun, light-headed, global, mature. If you check now, fun, energetic, these two description basically targets the younger demographic, right? So the teens, the adult, the children, the teenagers, people within that range, fun, energetic, and also a blend with maturity for the adults. So that's why the client said earlier that we want it to be mature and also we want it to appeal to adults and children. So this obviously corroborates what they said earlier. So it should be fun, energetic, but it should also be mature. It shouldn't appeal to only children. It should appeal to both the children and adults, right? So it should be modern, obviously. So it says which media is your logo likely to be used? Every media possible. So it means the logo you are designing, you should have it in mind that this logo is not going to be used only maybe for your t-shirt design and all of that. It's going to be used in all mediums, television, phones, social media, and whatnot. So all these are the information you should have at your fingertips before trying to design the logo. So you should have clarifications first of all. Then what are some logos that you like? Obviously we've done that, part that. So I'm sure you understand that by now. So what are some company logos that you don't like? It says we don't like Danish Refugee Council, we don't like Greenpeace, Ushahidi, I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, but you can correct me down in the comment section. Oxfam, you see them keep repeating this, Oxfam. So you just take note of all that. Again, go to Google and then type Danish refugee camp. Okay, what is it about this that they don't like? Maybe they don't like they don't like it because it's a letter mark. Maybe that's why they don't like it. They don't want a situation whereby you design a logo that has initials. Beyond Borders is BB, Beyond BBF, Beyond Borders Foundation. So they don't want something like that. DROC, this is Danish Refugee Council. So they don't want something like that. So you should take note of that. That's why they say they don't like this. Take note of that. Then maybe take note of that. And maybe that's basically what they don't like. They don't like something like this. They don't like it to go in this direction. And they also said they don't like Greenpeace logo. So this is just the color doesn't sit well. Color doesn't sit well with the brand. You see, these are logo. So they don't like this. So even this font doesn't appeal, doesn't work well with that industry, right? So all these are what you should take note of Ushadidi logo. So you see, if you check this now, see they don't like this, meaning that they may be telling you that they don't like you to incorporate this word, like this global icon, like people do like some designers do while designing some logos. So they are telling you they don't like this approach. They don't like this icon to be incorporated, right? So if even though you may want to incorporate it, but it shouldn't be this detailed. So they're making emphasis on detail. So that's why you should try and simplify everything, because they'll use it across all mediums. So just take note of all that. And then Oxfam, obviously they like uh the whole logo, like they like it to be an abstract mark, but the abstract mark should be more expressive of what the brand does. I've explained this one earlier. So those are the things you need to know. Then moving on, it says this is like the most important part. It says, do you have any specific image or symbols to portray in the logo? So this is the part that is very, very important. It says we want to incorporate love, hope, care, trust, humans, maybe. So just be creative. Humans, maybe, just be creative. So if you check this logo that you like, you can see human icon. Then hope, love. So what you do is you have to do this, where your research has started all this while. So this is where all the research keeps getting deeper and deeper. It says love, want to incorporate love. Okay, you can't incorporate everything. If it's possible, fine, but if you can't incorporate everything here, there's a way you can go about it. Let's say love. You go to your internet and go to, let's say, ChatGPT. I like ChatGPT because it's very straight to the point. So it says so what you do is that you just basically write this, give examples of graphical representation of love, so that it will recommend to you the symbols that can portray this image that they like, love. So what are the things that I can use to portray love? You have the heart symbol. These are the visual representations. You have the heart symbol, okay, noted. Interlocking rings. Interlocking rings often portrayed in a graphical representation can symbolize the bond and commitment between two individuals in a romantic relationship. Okay, that's love. Then love birds. Then love locks. Cupid. So while all these examples portray love, you shouldn't just go for any random one. You should pick the one that align mostly with your brand. You must have your brand in mind. If I'm doing a logo for maybe a brand that does a wedding dresses or something of sort, I can't use, okay, this may work. Okay, I think this can apply obviously in that aspect, but for this Beyond Border foundation, I can't be using interlocking rings because it doesn't align well with the brand. Why it still portrays love, it's still a graphical representation of love, it doesn't just align with that brand. I don't know if you understand. So these are the things you should put into consideration. This thing portrays love, hearts, love birds and whatnot, but which one work perfectly with the brand that you are currently designing? Which one works perfectly for that? So you can keep the heart symbol on one side, infinity symbol, love in different. Okay, these are just what you do. Just type this, give examples of graphical representations of love, and then ChatGPT will give you many suggestions. So you do the same for hope, because they say they want to portray, they want to incorporate the hope image. So you do this also, you do this. So we just go online also, and then graphical representation of hope. You have rising sun. Okay, a graphical representation of the rising sun symbolizes the dawn of a new day and the hope it brings. It represents the belief that better times are ahead and encourages optimism. So this can work. This can work because it's a charity organization. They are giving hope. They are giving hope to the hopeless. They are giving them hope, telling them that better days are ahead. They are encouraging optimism and renewal. So this can work. This rising sun can work, right? Butterflies cannot work for this. If this was a brand that is into weddings and all of that, this can work. This can work, but this cannot work for this brand. If it can work, there's a way you can do it, but most likely this will not work because of the brand. You must have that brand in mind while doing all this research. Sprouting seedlings, okay, keep that in mind. Just read through and then see what they do. Rainbow. So these are just graphical representations. So all these are what you should write down and then take note of them. Graphical representation of trust, handshake, linked chain, bridge, fingerprints, shield, lock and key, open hands, trust badge. So open hands, you see. So you just read through all these and then take note of them. Now, graphical representation of care, hearts, helping hand, and all of that. So sunflower, open hands, gift, and blah blah blah. So you should take note of all this. Now, you can't incorporate everything. You can't incorporate everything. You can't incorporate love, hope, care, trust, humans all at the same time. Sometimes it's very difficult to do. Now, when that happens, this is what you do. If you can incorporate the love, fine. If you can't incorporate it, try and look for a color that you can use to portray this instead. You see, we are just trying to work with the brand in mind here. They want to incorporate love, hope, care, trust. But you as a designer, you've observed that doing this will only make the logo more complicated. So what can I do? So as the expert, you look for alternatives. If you can't incorporate the love icon, incorporate a color that symbolizes love, that stands for love. Same thing with hope. Hope. Open hands can represent hope. Hold you. Open hands can represent hope. Right? So if you can't do that, look for a color that can work. Care. Trust. If you can't incorporate trust, you look for a color that can work. As you can see, blue. Blue is a color that portrays trust. So all these are just things that you should take note of. So when you have all these in mind, your logo design process will be more or less easy. You may most likely not have any issue while coming up with the logo. It's when you don't have all these logo that you now struggle most of the time to come up with a design. So if you check this now, it says, do you have any preferred logo category for your brand from the ones below? Okay, obviously we've been hammering on the abstract mark, obviously. So it means the brand they want an abstract mark. It shouldn't be a mascot. So the abstract, this is mascot. So they don't want something like, they need something like this, something abstract, or a combination mark. Right? So those are the things you need to take note of while trying to come up with your logo design. So so this is where the video ends. This is a series actually, so the subsequent videos I'll drop videos on the other stages of this whole design. All right, so if you got any value at all, just hit that like button and follow me so that you don't miss out on the next time I drop the other videos. So this is a series I'm doing, so just subscribe, hit the notification icon, hit the bell icon too, so that you get notified when I drop the video. All right, thank you and see you later. Goodbye.